Damn you, Elon Musk! He has a thing against blue birds, what can I say? He's a monster.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Next up, let's go with Fiddle, with staffing, Chief of Staff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up because my ears are too tall. Sorry.
I just said you're gonna stand up.
I am. Ah.
I'm short, I can make the joke.
It's true. It's true.
Short people unite. You get taller that way.
Cute. All right. Anybody who's a staffer, raise your hand. Look all around the room, guys. You all. Where's your hand? Yeah. All right. So, a giant thank you to the 70 of us who put together time this weekend and throughout the year to make an amazing convention happen. My staffer is Dr. Snapper, who led the volunteers. Everybody who's volunteering at least once this weekend, raise your hand. I see it. Look, we got more. All right. Thank you, everybody.
We love your volunteers.
You good? Okay. Without any of us, we would have no convention. So, we adore every one of you who put in time to help us. We even love the people who did it without telling us. You're amazing too. Fursuit Parade would have not gone so well if we hadn't all pitched in and helped out. So, again, I love every one of you. I hope you all come back next year, because that would be lovely. How many feedback emails have we gotten so far?
A lot.
We have
Over
gotten a
50.
lot of emails already.
Well over a dozen.
Thank you.
We've gotten over 50 emails already in the last 3-4 days.
3-4 days.
Who sent an email already? We got a couple brave souls, thank you, and many more, I promise. It helps us out. It helps us respect everything. It helps us take in mind what you want to see next year, and what we need to fix, and what we need to bring back, like the food trucks, and excellent things all around. I think that's all the things that I had. Anything else? Oh, if you want to be staff, we do have a link on the website. Let me know if you're interested in staffing. I will be delighted to reach out to you and talk to you more. We need more bodies. Obviously, we have gotten bigger. We need a few more staff to help us out. It would be lovely to see a lot of you next year. And just for the record, since it did get skipped there, we had a bunnies are the best or worst spies. Officially, we are the worst spies. My apologies. Okay, I think that's it. Again, thank you. I was Fiddle, Chief of Staff. I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend, and see you next year.
So there was a lot of talk about this feedback thing. Now, this was an email that we were mentioning, but also there is an actual form that you could fill out. So how many of you have received or taken or have one of those lovely, lovely con books? What'd you guys think of that? Yeah! All right. So if you have one of those, don't forget that in the front there is, So there is a lovely QR code on the very front, once you open the front page, that goes to a form that you can fill that out to give us more, like, sort of the feedback, so it kind of guides you through that. So if you don't know quite what to type into an email, take a look at the form. And if you don't have that, it's just indyfurcon.com/feedback. And if you can do the form at any time, that would be great. That does help us. And beyond that, hopefully you all really enjoyed the signage and everything else around the con that was visual. If you have any feedback regarding that, or would like to see more of it, or anything in particular, another thing that you can add to your feedback. It helps us a lot, very much. Thank you.
Nom, delicious feedback. Fiddle is also one of our first year board members and absolutely knocked it out of the park. You've been so amazing this year. I can't even describe it. So round of applause for Fiddle. Words. All right, so you mentioned about how big we've gotten. We've gotten very big, and I think someone on the end of the table might have some information about just how big we've gotten.
Oh, you mean the person who likes being big? Oh, okay, sure, I can do it.
That's a kaiju joke.
Sure.
Hey, they're big in Japan. All right, so I do have those numbers, but first I want to thank my staff because they are amazing, and I want to do it first. I know we're talking a lot of staff, but I'd like to thank all of my Reg staff, both my heads of it, Vincentis and Savani, who did so much to make sure that Reg happened and made sure people were taken care of and solved any problems that came up. They were amazing this year. I'd like to thank Kilroy, who was in charge of my dealer's den, and Ark, who was in charge of the con store inside the dealer's den. Both of them handled all sorts of situations with dealers and patrons and solving every little thing that happens to make an event run, and I can't do it without them, and I really appreciate them. I would also like to thank Orange, who is in charge of, yes, the color, who is in charge of my artist alley and helped make that happen. And Candy, who pulled double duty, not only doing art, but also running the artist marketplace. And I've heard so many people say it was run very smoothly and efficiently, and I couldn't have done it without her. 99% of that work was her. I would also like to thank Grim, who ran my sponsor suite, got snacks and drinks and food for all of you, maintained and ran it, and was very professional. I can't do it without him. He's amazing. So much Diet Mountain Dew. All right, and then sponsor Swag, who was Raz Husky, who pulled all sorts of stuff and made sure all of you got all of the cool things we got for you. Tries so hard all year long to make me pay more attention to him, to get more things for you people. So anything cool you got is 90% his fault. All right, so that's those. So now we're going to go into the things you all actually want to know, correct? Such as numbers, perhaps?
Yes.
All right, let me get my little screen working so I can read things. So we sold all 115 of our super sponsors. We will raise that cap for next year. We sold all of them. You bought all of them, however you want to say it. So we will raise that cap for next year because apparently you guys want the big bucks to be spent on those things. And then for sponsors, you guys are absolutely insane. We got 307 of you. Wow. You guys doubled and then a little bit more my super sponsors. There's too many of you. We appreciate it, honestly. It's how we are able to run this event, is you guys. And then we had a surprisingly large amount of minors. We had 200 minor badges that were...
Wow! 200?
A lot of them were, if you're under a certain age, they're free. So there was a lot of groups of families that came to our con to make it a special event. Saturday was bustling with children. It was crazy. It was so cool. And we really appreciate all of you. And then we had 22 people show up on Friday to just show up for Friday, 125, mostly children, for Saturday, and then 30 that showed up on Sunday to show, you know, our final day, just a little bit of love. And all of that rounds up to be 1722. So that's all of my numbers. But I do want to give a shout out if you have feedback for Dealer's Room, Artist Alley, Artist Maker Place, anything we can do to make it better. Those areas were amazing. You guys spent so much money. I think I had multiple dealers come to me going, if I'm not back next year, I'm going to be very upset. So good job at spending all of your money. I appreciate it.
We live here now.
You do not live here. The walls are free of ferrets.
I live here now.
I'm not a fan. I want to live here.
I'm broke.
Ball? Yarn.
Honey.
Yeah, yarn.
Honey.
Okay. I'm a little speechless because I was not ready for 1,700 some people. It just blew my mind. Y'all are crazy and I love you for it. I want to give a, applause for yourself. Why not? You deserve it. Yeah. want to give a thank you to Magic. He has been on the board for quite a while. And a while. And did a great job going through all the bumps and bruises of the new hotel this year, and I appreciate you for it. Hey, Magic!
Thank you.
I think that it's about time to get some tasty charity tears. Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
Did we started already?
Yum, yum.
Follow your tears.
Oh gosh, yes, come take these
Make them cry.
Make them cry. Make them cry.
comes up here.
This is the weirdest chant I have ever heard at a large gathering ever.
Happy tears.
I want to start out by thanking all of our panelists who managed to raise some funds for charity at your panels. That was really cool of you. We had Well Technically, Citrine's charity show. I also, of course, want to thank our charity liaison, Odie, and Heather for being here. Our animal liaison, Heather.
Animal liaison, I like that.
Yeah. We had Well Technically, Citrine's charity show, the charity D&D, Fermented Ferrets. I comment better when I've had a few. Con War Stories, 15 fewer. We even had a donation from Furry Logic for $350. Thank you, Furry Logic. Some of our top earning panels include Death by Una, which brought in $530.
Wow.
Charity Who's Line, which brought in $627.28. Our MST3K from Thursday night, $1,020. They just couldn't wait to throw that money out of their pockets.
Nope.
Couldn't wait. And of course, our big earner, that charity auction earlier today, $13,458.
Wow.
Can you say that
That was $13,458.
again? Oh my God, you guys.
All together, plus what you just gave us. Here at closing, you just gave us $712 in addition to all of that.
How do you have any money left?
Right, thanks to those mini-me hatters.
Heather, why do you think people think furries are rich?
Those fursuits are expensive. That's why I just have ears.
Soon you'll have a tail.
So, all of that put together brings us to a grand total of $20,800.39. Meaning that we have an average donation amount of $12.07 from each and every one of our attendees.
You guys are
A few of you are outliers and should not have been counted.
Oh, I'm not
Make
even
them
the first
cry.
one.
You know who you are.
I have things to say, just a second.
Cry. 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 Cry.
But guys, I seriously, every year I think, no way. No. Someone asked me the other day what my goal was coming in here, and I truly never have one, because my goal is to just be here with all of you and share our animals and have a great weekend. And I don't want to come in with any expectations, because I never want this amazing, generous community to ever think that I were disappointed. Because that number could have been lower and I would still be so incredibly grateful and blown away by your love and your generosity. So I came in here with no real monetary goal. That's just not how we function, because we are 100% volunteer based. None of us get paid for this. We have a 5-member board who works our little tails off every day. We have 100 volunteers that pitch in wherever they can in different ways. We have 50 foster homes in central Indiana who care for the animals in their home so that they can experience a home environment even before they get one of their own. Oh, shit. Sorry.
She gets one.
Okay. It's been so every single penny gets spent on the animals. We buy their food and we buy their cages and we buy their reptile lights and we buy the toys that they need. And so those are the extra things. Like when I started doing this 8 years ago, they didn't have toys because we were barely affording the vet care and we were barely affording the food. And now they have toys and they have cat houses that the rabbits get to jump and climb in. And for 2 years, we had a space of our own. We had our own shelter. The city didn't love having us and they tore that whole building down, so we no longer have a shelter. And we're still shopping for one, and this is gonna help so much because landlords don't want to rent to nonprofits. But I can say, look how much money I have, I promise I'm good for it. So if you have a space or know of a space that would like to host our animals, you know, most of them are in cages. They're not even making big messes, guys. They make huge messes actually, but it's all contained. It's not gonna damage your place. And so if you know of someone who has something that's affordable, please reach out. We would love to hear about it. Oh, are you taking pictures of my tears? That's embarrassing. But it's been amazing to watch this growth. ERPS turns 15 in October. I joined in 8 years ago with my 12-year-old because she needed a grown-up. She wanted to volunteer, she wanted to play with bunnies, and she wanted to help. And they said, sure, if your mom comes too. And so I did. And for a very long time, I used to just drive her there and I would watch. And I would work on my laptop while she did the things that she needed to do. And then she wanted to foster us. And then they started coming home with us. And so I used to joke that I'm not the volunteer here, I just drive and buy the food. And then it escalated. But I love what I do, and this is such a huge part of it. I had taken over as president 3 weeks before my first Indy FurCon. And you guys made it so easy. You made it so easy to say, this is something that I want to do, and this is a community I can be a part of, and look at all these people who think that what I'm doing has value. And God, I didn't mean to start my anti-capitalist rant. That's usually his job. But it's a dirty, busy, thankless job so often, but we come here and for 72 hours I get to feel like a queen, and I get to feel like what I do matters to so many more people than just me and these 200 animals we have. And it is just such a beautiful thing to see, and this is the most beautiful community I've ever been a part of. And I just don't even have the words to thank you enough. Each and every one of you, whether you dropped your last 50 cents in our donation jar or you bid $3,000 on a commission, every single thing about this weekend has been beautiful and meaningful, and I'm gonna ride on this for another year. This is working?
Yeah, no, it's working. Yay! Okay, all right.
We have. Yeah.
I did. Okay, it's fine. No, we're moving on. Who wants to hear about next year?
I already know.
So unfortunately, I don't have much to announce right now because we have a lot of things in the works. I'm super excited. So as soon as we have information, like hotel dates, or con dates that happen at hotels, as soon as we have our GOHs confirmed, all of that stuff will go out on the website, it'll go out on our Twitter, so please keep an eye on those things. But I'm very excited about what we've got cooking for you. So, do you guys want to hear about the theme?
Yeah!
Because I do know about that.
I know.
Jungle room.
Wait, do you guys hear that?
What's that sound?
What's that noise?
What?
Oh no! Monsters and mechas! All out Neo Tokyo attack! Ah!
Yeah. That's what I figured.
Thank you, Indy, for a con. This has been an amazing weekend, and we will see you next year! Alright, go! You gotta go home, but you can't stay here. But you can't stay here.
You don't have to go home, but you can stay here.
Yes, we can. Thanks.
Okay.